Joe, thank you for joining us.
Yep.
All right, we're set to go. Everyone go ahead with your questions.
Joe, we saw you throwing passes today and moving around a little bit. How's your left knee doing?
It was good. Felt really good today. It was optimistic.
Your doctor said that you are all systems go for week one. Are you even more confident now that you will be ready for the start of the regular season?
I wouldn't say I'm more confident. I was expected to be ready. We still got a couple months to go, get a little stronger, get a little bigger, but we're on a good path.
Joe, when you were going out there, what was what was running through your mind as you're going through warm-ups, as you're getting out there and throwing balls around with the guys for the first time, I guess since last season?
Yeah, it's good to be back. Good to see everybody. Whenever anybody comes back from the off season, it's fun to see everybody get some work in. It's fun being back on the field, that's for sure.
Joe, it's obvious you've been working hard at Black Sheep. Had the video that showed you. I mean, you've put on quite a bit of good muscle, quite a bit of good weight. Have you noticed any difference in your velocity and throwing the football and all that sort of thing as a result?
Yeah, I feel like I have a lot more velocity now. And that was a big thing I wanted to work on this offseason. Obviously, it was tough with the circumstances, but we managed the way we could, and I think it paid off, and we still have some work to do.
The last time you did one of these Zoom interviews, you told us that your knee was 15%. I believe that was in January. Can you give us a percentage now?
Probably 80-85% now. We had some strength tests done, and all that showed 80-85% compared to the right leg. So we're on pace. We're really good. We're looking really good. Just got to keep strengthening. At this point, there's not a lot of things that I can't do. It's just getting it stronger.
Have you tested a lot of knee braces, Joe? And how comfortable are you in the one that you're wearing today?
We're testing them out. They're not my favorite thing in the world, but it comes with the territory, so we'll find one that is the lesser of all evils.
Was it like riding a bike today, throwing the ball to Jamar Chase?
Yep. It was a little rusty at first, but we got it back. Stayed after practice a little bit, got some extra ones, but we got it back pretty quick.
At a practice like this, is there a part of it that's important for you that you really enjoy doing?
Just back throwing with the guys. I've been throwing to equipment managers, standing on the field for the last couple months, so good to throw to some NFL caliber players, not the equipment guys.
Joe, what's been the biggest challenge of this process of getting back and getting right and trying to reach your goal of playing week one?
Just knowing in my head that I can't push it too hard. I'm a guy that likes to push the limits and work hard and go above and beyond, but I couldn't do that with a knee. So just doing what the doctors tell me to do, not doing anything too fast, being cautious, but we're out of the hardest part, and now the fun part begins.
As far as increasing velocity, how do you go about that with a knee injury? What are some of the exercises that you did or just routines that you did to do so?
Well, it all starts with my hips. My hips got a lot stronger just by doing the rehab. It's a lot of glute, hip flexor, hip work to help strengthen the knee and keeping the knee out of compromised positions, and that by doing that it really helped a lot.
How much do you weigh now, Joe, compared to this to May 25th, 2020? How much do you weigh now?
Probably about the same. Still looking to put on a couple more pounds before the season. I always lose a bit during the year because it's so long, but so we're still working on putting on muscle, gaining probably 5 or 10 more pounds to be ready to go.
During the rehab process, there's boxes to check. This was a significant box. I mean, your first workout on the field with your teammates, and you checked it off. How's it feel, after practice? You're going to ice it down and all that good stuff?
Yeah, it feels good. We've been doing basically what I did out there today. We've been doing it for the last month. So it wasn't anything new. It was just with moving targets out there. So it wasn't any big step or anything like that. It was just fun to be back out there.
So you were back out there in April throwing, Joe. Have you during this process surprised yourself at all with how quickly you've gotten back to throwing?
I wouldn't say I surprised myself. I just have a great team around me that worked really hard for me as well as myself working hard. And, I had great Nick Cosgrove, our PT, has been awesome for me, in here every day working hard. So, we got it to a good place right now. Just got to keep pushing.
What led you to Dr. Elatrash, and what have you liked about the relationship you built with him?
I had some friends that had some surgeries out there with him. My agent has a good relationship with him, and he's one of the best. So went out there, got that done, and there's been no issues. He's been awesome. Takes my calls whenever I need him, checks in all the time. So he's been great. Happy to work with him and continuing to work with him as well.
What were your thoughts when they drafted Chase, and what does he bring to the table for this offense?
I was excited. Obviously, me and Jamar have a good rapport, good friends, good teammates. I think he's going to bring some explosiveness to our offense. He's tough to tackle. You get the ball in his hands, and he's a big, strong receiver that corners are going to have a tough time tackling him, and then he can take the top off the defense. So we have some great receivers, great weapons that are at our disposal, and he's got to utilize them properly.
Joe, have you reached the stage of rehab where you can't necessarily overdo it, or is it still a balance? You mentioned 80 to 85% and getting it stronger. Is it just all systems go and pushing, or do you still have to be patient?
Still got to be patient. You can't push too hard. It's basically, at this point, it's just how it feels. There's still good days and bad days. It's still sore some days, and so you'll take it a little easy, and then some days it feels really good, and you'll push it really hard. But we have a good plan. Like I said, I have a good team around me that is helping me with that.
Could you sense that your teammates are could you sense that your teammates are really excited that you were an active participant at the first OTA practice?
I don't know. I didn't get any sense for it, but I sure hope they were. I was excited to be an active participant myself and be around everybody. So I hope they were.
Joe, sorry if you got asked this a little earlier, but did you feel like it was important for you, kind of as you grow into being a leader, to be involved in this OTA in some capacity?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I didn't want to just not show up and do my own thing. I'm at the point where I can, even if I wasn't able to do everything, if my knee was less than what it is now, I would still want to be here and be around everybody and communicate and call plays in the huddle. Because we have a lot of new faces on this team that need to see me there and see me working. So it was really important for me to be here.
What was your reaction to the full house? What was your reaction to, I think, everybody being here?
As far as all the players.
Yeah. I mean, attendance. What was your reaction to the attendance?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we decided to do as a team, and I think that shows the rapport that everybody has with each other. We decided as a team that we were going to come and put the work in, and so everyone showed up. That's great. I think that bodes well for the season.
Joe, I know that the journey's not over, but the coming back and playing again full go. But from the injury to now, what's the biggest thing you've kind of took away or learned from this process?
I don't know if there's anything that I took away. It's just more adversity that I've had in my career. I've had a lot of it that I've overcome, and a lot has to do with the people around me, my family, and my trainers and coaches and teammates. So I've been blessed with great people around me for many, many years that have helped me through all the adversities that have been put in front of me.
What's the next milestone or the next hurdle to clear for you?
At this point, I'm doing everything. The next one is just to get cleared for football activities and contact. That'll be around 9 months, or about 6 months and a week right now. So the next one will be, and hopefully I'll be, I should be going full go in camp. That's my goal. Maybe a little limited, but I hope not. And then after that, the next one is to be cleared to play.
Joe, I know you said at one point you didn't want to play or bother with the preseason. Has that changed as you felt better, or is that still the way you feel that preseason isn't really something you have a whole lot of interest in?
I definitely wouldn't say I didn't want to. I definitely want to play. I just don't know if it's the best thing for my knee. Maybe, hopefully I can get, a couple series in there to shake the rust off before game one. We'll see talk that over with the coaching staff and ownership and our physical therapist and our trainers. So that'll be a discussion at a later date.
I know you talked about Jamar already, but is it kind of wild seeing the other LSU guys coming up here now with Tyler and Thaddeus too?
Yeah, I got a lot of guys on the team that I played with. A bunch of Ohio State guys I was on the team with, and then we just keep adding LSU guys. So it's fun to see familiar faces for sure.
Shelvin, there's a great picture of Shelvin lifting you up after one of the games. What's it like to be on the same side of the ball with him? He looks to be a rather impressive built man.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He looks like an NFL nose tackle, that's for sure. We're excited to have him. He's going to be a good player for us. Excited to see what he can do in camp when we put the pads on, for sure.
Joe, throughout the rehab process, I know it's still fairly early, or I guess we're in the middle of it, but what's been the toughest thing that you kind of had to deal with and kind of process throughout this whole deal so far?
Taking it cautious, not being able to push the whole time. And there was quite a bit of pain at the beginning that limited what I could do, which was I had never really experienced before. All the injuries that I had to, push the physical therapist to, move me along faster. And, this one was, I couldn't have moved faster if I wanted to. So that was tough for me, but, we're in a good place now.
Where would you say your mechanics are, Joe? And did the rehab process almost help them in a way?
Yeah, right now when I get my feet set, I'm throwing it better than I ever have before. At this point, it's just, the movement, throwing off platform, throwing, with stuff in my face that I'm going to have to keep working on. It doesn't quite feel where it was or where it needs to be yet, but that'll be the next step in my recovery.
Joe, during the offseason, communication with the coaches, usually there's an offensive balls, gets tweaks or whatever. Are you excited about that process from year to year two, some tweaks and changes in the offense?
I am, yeah. I think, Frank Pollock's going to do great things for us. He was definitely a voice that you could hear at practice today. It was fun. He's a fun guy to be around, fun guy to be coached by. So I'm excited about him.
2 more minutes.
A lot of great quarterbacks have come back from torn ACLs, Joe. Have you talked to any of them, and has anybody been helpful in this process?
No, I haven't really talked to any of them. My buddy Nick Bosa is going through the same thing right now. He tore his week 2 last year. So, we were in California together at the same time, so I was able to hang out with him a little bit. And then I hung out with Andrew Whitworth a little bit in California as well when he was rehabbing I think he tore his PCL or something like that. But it's fun to be around him, fun to be around Nick, and those guys helped me get through it.
Joe, can you feel just kind of the, I don't know if buzz is the right word, but kind of the sense around City and Bengals fans just kind of cheering for your recovery to get back week 1? Can you feel that even without, games and being out in the city? You can. And it's not just about me. It's about where we're going as a team, the things that Zach is doing at the top. And, we're in a good place right now. We just have to show it on the field this year. And I think we will. I think everyone's putting the work in to do that. We have all the right people in the building. We just have to execute on the field and get those wins.
So many new faces. Is there anything you've done to reach out to these guys? Dinners, hosting guys? I mean, have you done anything to get close to these guys?
Yeah, I've reached out to most of them. And, today was the first day we've met face to face. A lot of guys are just getting into town. So it's fun to see everybody, fun to see all the new faces that are going to help us win football games.
One last question.
Joe, there was plenty of talk this offseason about the offensive line. What would you say to those fans that are worried about the guys in front of you keeping you upright in 2021?
We've got the right guys. We've got the guys that are going to put in the work to get better. Everyone knows that we have to get better up front, outside, me, defense. We won 4 games. So everyone knows that they have to put the work in to enhance their play, myself included. So I'm happy with the work that everyone's put in so far, and we got the right kind of guys that are going to continue to do that.
All right, Joe, we'll let you go. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Joe.